I got some new games. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, getting new games. The kids show you can rate. Hey everybody, Jim here with another pickups video. I haven't really been picking up too many games in recent months. Been trying to be a little frugal, but sometimes you come across things that you just can't pass up. So luckily for me, none of this stuff was too terribly expensive, except for maybe one or two games. And you'll notice that there are a lot of shoot 'em ups in this pickups video. It might just be that I'm working on a few lists. So if you're the kind of person that's interested in lists, you can probably guess what they're gonna be. But anyway, let's just kind of quickly go through these. Right here I have a stack of 3 loose Famicom games. These are some kind of classics that I really wanted in my collection anyway, but again, I'm working on some lists. But first up, Combat, classic by Capcom. Combat, excellent game. You're a little soldier, you run around, you shoot people, you throw grenades, and that's really about it. Really great kind of precursor to all the other run and gun games that would come after it. Combat, really love this game. Next up, another Capcom 8-bit game, 1943. An excellent shooter. Better than 1942 to be sure. I like this kind of like World War II style shooter. I like stuff like this and Ghost Pilots and even Strikers 1945, even though those are like really over the top and crazy. I like that, just like an airplane and then a whole bunch of other airplanes and boats and tanks, and you blow everything away. The power-up system, earning new points so you can power your plane up and everything like that. That's all really cool. 1943, really great. Probably my favorite shoot 'em up for the NES, maybe. I don't know. What is it? Gun-Knack is up there too. And I still haven't played Crisis Force, but 1943, amazing game. And then another Capcom 8-bit game. It's The Return of Hitler, or Hitler's Revival. That's the Japanese title, though. This game in the US and Europe is Bionic Commando. Bionic Commando, fantastic game. Love it. Run around, shoot dudes, use your little arm to swing and do all kinds of cool stuff. And Hitler's face explodes at the end of this game, so how can you go wrong with the resurrection of Hitler, aka Bionic Commando? Really awesome. Some PlayStation and PlayStation 2 games here. This first one, when I came across it, I just looked at it and said, what the hell is this? I checked my phone real quick, and then I was like, okay, well, I have to have this. This game is called Kitchen Panic. Kitchen Panic is, first of all, as far as I know, this was Japan only. It is a 2D platformer where you play as a potato running through the kitchen, jumping on little like canned good monsters, collecting little like power-ups and icons. It's your basic straightforward platformer, but you're a potato running around in a series of kitchens. And that alone made me want to pick it up. I like platformers anyway. I'm a big fan of Mario, Sonic, Earthworm Jim, you name it. I probably have played it and liked it. So I wanted it just to have another good 2D platformer in my collection. But it's a potato running around a kitchen, jumping on canned good monsters and things like that. So for sure I was going to pick up Kitchen Panic for the PlayStation. Really interesting game. If you're a platformer fan, I'd say check it out. This game, Monkey Turn V. I thought this was just going to be a straightforward, just like boat racing game. It really isn't. I was essentially, just looking at the back of it and everything, and looking at the cover. I was looking at this thinking, hey, this is going to be like Wave Race or something. It really isn't. It's boring. It's all about just like making these sharp turns in your boat. So the courses aren't even like courses like full racing courses. It's just get to the end, make your turn, come back, make your, it's just boring. Monkey Turn V. I guess this is based on an anime, and I've seen some boat racing like this on TV. I don't know. Admittedly, I didn't play very far into it, so maybe it gets better. Maybe the courses open up a little bit. But from what I played, this was kind of crappy. Monkey Turn V. This game, I had to get this. There's a restaurant here in Japan, or a chain of restaurants called Coco Ichiban Curry House. It's curry, it's delicious. Everyone who comes here loves Coco's. This game is the Curry House Coco Ichiban video game. You play a little chef guy in a Coco's making curry for people. It's a lot like, there's a PS1 game, and actually Jimmy Hoppa has already done a review of it, where you run these, little restaurants, and you use the analog sticks to like make food and pour drinks and do all kinds of other things. This is basically the exact same thing as that game. You operate a Coco's Curry House, and you make the curry, and you chop up the food, and you do other things, all with the analog sticks, as you can see here on the back. It's fun. It's got a very cute design. It's a very simple game, and again, it's a game about managing a curry restaurant, and there's no way in hell I could pass that up. The Coco Ichiban Curry House something video game, really cool. This one, a sequel to a game that I enjoy and a lot of other people do. Most people don't get it. This is Ka 2, or Mr. Mosquito 2, Let's Go Hawaii. And as the name implies, it's another Mr. Mosquito game, except the family that he irritates takes a vacation to Hawaii, so you just irritate them and try to suck their blood in a series of Hawaiian settings. You can also choose to play as another mosquito who is an American mosquito, and he torments a American family that goes on vacation to Hawaii, and he's loaded with American attitude. You can see him there on the back of the box, him and the Japanese Mr. Mosquito hanging out together. It's same exact thing as the first Mr. Mosquito. It's just it's funny because I like the American family in this game. They got some English voice actors to play them. The voice acting is horrific, and they made them about as racist and as much of like an asshole as they could possibly be. They're constantly making fun of the Japanese family. But Mr. Mosquito 2, if you like the first one, this one is worth looking into. You might not understand a lot of what's being said or written in Japanese, but you'll understand the English, because the U.S. family speaks entirely in English, and it's Japanese subtitles, and they're dicks. But it's still, if you know how to play the first Mr. Mosquito, you'll know how to play this one. So go ahead and pick that up. Okay, we're gonna start here with these Super Famicom games. These two on top are not shoot 'em ups. This first one is called Sandra No Daibouken. This, you might be able to recognize this green guy here. He's from the Legend of the Valkyrie series by Namco, which Jimmy Hoppa has again done a lot of reviews on those as well. This one is a side-scrolling action platformer starring the little green guy, I guess Sandra, or Sandler, I don't know what his name is supposed to be pronounced in English. But it's fun. It's a fairly straightforward, kind of easy platformer, I think, but it's still really good. Well, maybe not fair to say easy, because as I played further into it, it was getting kind of tough, but it is still a really well made, good looking, good sounding, plays well platformer. It's by Namco, so they were gonna make something good. So Sandra no Daibouken, pretty cool. This game here, unfortunately, really disappointed me. It's Zoku, The Legend of Bishin, and it was like $10. And when I saw this cover art, and then I flipped it around to the back and took a look back there, I was like, wow, this looks really cool. And it is, like, aesthetically, like visually, it's very cool. It's like a mix of Road Warrior and Blade Runner, which are like two of my favorite movies. It's obviously mixing those two movies together, which on the surface is pretty cool, but gameplay, it's basically a racing game and a beat 'em up in one, which sounds so awesome because I like racing games and I like beat 'em ups, especially beat 'em ups. What it is the first stage you have to drive from A to B, and then you get to the beat 'em up stage. The thing is, though, is that the driving stages are not a simple complete a race kind of thing. It's more like a maze, and you have to find the finish area before time runs out, and it's confusing and frustrating. So it just really takes all the steam out of the game, and the beat 'em up segments end up being not really that good. Anyway, so Zoku, The Legend of Bishin, it had promise. It just kind of disappointed me a lot, but I didn't spend that much on it, so not a huge deal. Alright, the rest of these games are all shooters, and like I said, I'm putting together some lists, so draw your own conclusions. But all these Super Famicom shooters right here, got some really good ones. First up, Raiden Densetsu. This is just the Super Famicom version of Raiden or Raiden Trad for the Genesis and Mega Drive. I love the Raiden games, always have, up to like the Raiden Fighters games, and Raiden 4 for the Xbox 360, and Raiden 5, which recently came out for the Xbox One. Looks really cool, I haven't played it yet. So Raiden Densetsu, really great game. The movement can be like slightly jerky at times. There's a little, I don't know, kind of like stuttering in the movement a little bit. But other than that, it's really great, awesome, classic top-down shooter, Raiden Densetsu, very cool. Next up, got myself a copy of Thunder Spirits, which is awesome. I'm a fan of the Thunder Force series. I have 2, 3, and 4 on the Mega Drive, and I have Part 5 for the PlayStation, and then I have one of the collections for the Saturn. Thunder Spirits, as far as I know, I believe GameSack, on an episode of GameSack from way back, they said this is not a port of what was it, Thunder Force 3. They said it's a port of Thunder Force AE, which was the arcade game based on Thunder Force 3. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm gonna take their word for it if that is indeed what they said. But good side-scrolling shoot 'em up, really fun. They said that it was really easy. It feels like it's easy in spots, and then in other spots I'm just like, God damn you. But overall, this is a really fun game. Thunder Spirits for the Super Famicom and SNES, really cool. This one, yes, I love this series. I always have. It's Sonic Wings, and I'm trying to remember what the US title for this one was. I think it might have been, it's something Blasters. It's not Aero Blasters, because that's on the Mega Drive and PC Engine. I don't know, somebody, if you want to tell me in the comments, because I can't remember, but Sonic Wings, I love this series. I've got like Sonic Wings Special and Sonic Wings 3 for the Saturn and the Neo Geo. These are some great games. Top-down shoot 'em up. You have a few different planes to choose from. Very, very reminiscent of a Psycho shooter. It makes me wonder if maybe the people at Psycho didn't just go leave from, Video System. If they didn't work at Video System and then leave, or maybe Video System became Psycho or something. But these are very similar to games like Strikers 1945 and Gunbird, but they're really awesome. Top-down shooters. This might be my favorite. It's at least in my top 5 Super Famicom or SNES shoot 'em ups. It's really great. Sonic Wings. And then here, excellent game, but holy hard can it be frustrating and difficult. It's R-Type 3, which I love this game. The graphics and sound design are outstanding, and the gameplay is really great. It is just so damn difficult. It's a very like slow, methodical. You really have to pay attention to every little detail, everything. Any and all things can kill you. You will die in one hit and then be, started back to your beginning power level. So it's extremely difficult, frustrating at times, but I absolutely love this game. I love that level of difficulty because it's really challenging and makes you want to keep playing, and you actually feel like you've accomplished something when you finally get past an area or a level that's been giving you a lot of trouble. So R-Type 3, another one of the best shooters for the SNES, if you ask me. And then these three here, these last 3 games, I got 2 for the Saturn and 1 for the Dreamcast that I have been trying to get my hands on forever. But we're going to start here, Saturn, Kingdom Grand Prix. This is by Rising, who Rising also made, they made a number of others, but Sokyu Gurentai is the one that comes to mind. I love that game. It's one of the best on the Saturn for sure. Kingdom Grand Prix is interesting in that it's a top-down shoot 'em up, but it also uses elements of like a racing game. Like, you're not just trying to shoot and destroy enemies, but all the other playable characters, you're racing against them, and depending on like how far up you go on the screen or how many things you destroy, it dictates how fast you're going. And I don't know, it's hard to explain. They mixed a shoot 'em up with a racing game, and it turned out really fun, cool, unique, but also at times really frustrating. There is actually the option to play a mode where you're not racing at all, you're just playing through the stages, destroying the enemies and bosses, if you don't really like the racing aspect of it. Good game though, fun, challenging. It's the same, rising quality. They make really great shooters, or made really great shooters. And then the graphics and sound design are really good too. So Kingdom Grand Prix, awesome game. And then this one, just awesome series in general. Never a bad game with these. It's Dodonpachi by Cave. The original Dodonpachi, excellent game. Dodonpachi, much better. This is a series that just got like better and better over time. Dodonpachi Sai Daioujo is like my favorite Xbox 360 shoot 'em up. One of my just favorite shooters in general. I really love that game. So Dodonpachi, awesome game. Few different ships to choose from. It's the classic Dodonpachi style, where they all have different shot types and movement speeds. Challenging, fast-paced, beautiful graphics, excellent soundtrack, just perfect gameplay. Dodonpachi, developed by Cave and published by Atlas at this point in time. Really excellent game. If you haven't played any of the games in the Dodonpachi series, I'd say you're missing out. They're some of the best shooters ever made. And then this last game, one I've been trying to get my hands on for a while. I finally just had to bite the bullet. I wasn't finding it anywhere for what you would call cheap, so I just had to go ahead and get it as soon as I had the expendable income. It's by Saikyo, who again I said made Gunbird and Sengoku Blade and Strikers 1945 and Cannon Spike. They've made so much awesome stuff. Zero Gunner 2. Finally got my hands on this. This might be just my favorite Dreamcast shooter ever. You've got your cool helicopters, and you can move in a full 360 degrees, and planes and other helicopters and tanks and everything. They just come from all sides of the screen, and you just rotate and shoot everything. And you got 3 different helicopters that have different weapons and different super bombs, and graphics awesome, sound design awesome, gameplay perfect. Zero Gunner 2, again, this might be my favorite Dreamcast shooter, and it's one of just my favorite shooters of all time. Really amazing game. If you've never played Zero Gunner 2, I believe this was a Japan exclusive for the Dreamcast, unfortunately, but it was also released in arcades. I would wholeheartedly recommend playing this game. It is awesome. I love Zero Gunner 2. Really glad to have that in the collection finally. And that's it for this bunch of pickups. I again picked up mostly shooters because I was on a real shooter kick. And again, like I said, now that I have so many, I'm gonna go ahead and put together some lists. Picked up some 8-bit Capcom games. Gonna make a list with that as well, and then some kind of quirky stuff like Mr. Mosquito and the Curry House and the Kitchen Panic. So yeah, I got some really interesting things this time around. Anyway, hey, down in the comments, what are some cool pickups you've made recently? I'd love to know. Everybody, thanks for watching, commenting, liking, subscribing. That's always really appreciated. Anyway, again, thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. I will see you next time. Goodbye.